Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey. Today, we're continuing Brand Spotlight, my mini-series where we look closely at fashion brands, not just for what they sell, but for where they came from, what they stand for, what made them successful, and whether they still feel relevant now. Having just watched the latest final trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2, and hearing Brunello Cucinelli mentioned so casually in the middle of all that fashion chaos, it felt like the perfect reminder of where this brand sits in the luxury conversation. Even in a film world built on high fashion, status, and sharp labels, Brunello Cucinelli still carries a very specific kind of weight. And since this was also suggested in the comments section as a brand to feature next, it felt like the right choice for this next brand spotlight. If Chanel represents one kind of luxury built on iconic house codes and instantly recognizable signatures, Brunello Cucinelli sits in a very different space. This is a brand that became known not through loud logos or dramatic trend shifts, but through restraint, craftsmanship, and a very polished idea of understated luxury. That is a big reason why the brand is so often linked to quiet luxury. The materials are refined, the colors are calm, the tailoring is soft, and the clothes look expensive without needing to announce themselves too loudly. But what makes Brunello Cucinelli especially interesting is that it does not just sell clothes, it sells a philosophy. The brand ties itself closely to ideas like dignity of work, Italian craftsmanship, beauty in everyday life, and what it calls humanistic capitalism. That has helped it become one of the clearest examples of a luxury brand built on values as much as product. So in this video, I want to look at where the brand started, what makes its aesthetic so recognizable, and why it still matters in fashion today. The origin story. Brunello Cucinelli founded the company in 1978, and the original idea was actually very specific. He wanted to make colored cashmere sweaters for women at a time when that felt unusual. That detail matters because it tells you what the brand was from the very beginning. It was never about reaching everyone. It was about taking one very luxurious material, treating it with seriousness, and building a world around refinement, comfort, and taste. That early choice also explains why cashmere remains so central to the brand's image today. Even though the company now sells much more than knitwear, cashmere is still one of its strongest signatures. And that makes sense because cashmere captures what the brand has always been good at: softness, elegance, and a kind of luxury you feel first before you even fully notice it visually. Brunello Cucinelli did not rise by making fashion feel shocking or theatrical. It rose by making luxury feel warm, tactile, and deeply considered. One of the reasons Brunello Cucinelli feels so different from many other luxury houses is its close connection to Solomeo, the small Umbrian village that became the brand's symbolic home. Solomeo is not just a headquarters, it is part of the brand story itself. While many luxury houses build mythology around founders, ateliers, or big cities, Brunello Cucinelli built part of its identity around a village. And that matters because Solomeo reflects everything the brand wants to communicate: beauty, calm, craftsmanship, culture, and a slower, more thoughtful idea of luxury. That is also why the brand often feels bigger than clothing. It presents itself almost as a way of living, not just a way of dressing. The philosophy behind the brand. This is where Brunello Cucinelli becomes especially distinctive. The company openly speaks about humanistic capitalism, a philosophy built around dignity, culture, craftsmanship, and a more humane view of business. Whether people see that as completely sincere or partly strategic branding, it has been very effective. Because when people think of Brunello Cucinelli, they are not only thinking about sweaters or tailoring, they're also thinking about the message behind the brand. Chanel gives you house codes, Zara gives you speed. Brunello Cucinelli gives you the idea that luxury can still feel calm, cultured, and human. That has become one of its strongest differentiators. Of course, none of this would matter if the clothes did not connect, and this is where Brunello Cucinelli has been incredibly consistent. The brand is known for cashmere, knitwear, soft tailoring, suede, refined outerwear, relaxed trousers, understated dresses, and neutral palettes. Everything comes back to the same overall feeling: polished, effortless, and quietly expensive. What it does especially well is make simple clothing look complete. A blazer feels softer than expected. A sweater looks luxurious because of the material and finish, not because of decoration. Trousers look elegant because of proportion and drape rather than anything flashy. That subtlety is exactly the point. Brunello Cucinelli is not trying to impress through excess. It is trying to show that luxury can be expressed through fabric, fit, and restraint. Another reason Brunello Cucinelli is worth studying is that it is not just admired critically. It has also performed strongly as a business. That matters because there are many brands people respect aesthetically, but fewer that manage to grow while staying this consistent. Brunello Cucinelli has shown that there is a real global customer for this type of luxury. Not flashy luxury, not heavily trend-based luxury, but luxury built on quality, coherence, and a very specific mood. And that tells you something important about the brand. It is not surviving on image alone. It has managed to build long-term trust with customers who know exactly what they are coming for. A lot of brands grow by becoming broader, louder, or more reactive. Brunello Cucinelli grew by becoming even more itself. Even though Brunello Cucinelli is not usually the first brand people think of for dramatic runway moments, it does have Fashion Week presence, including Milan Fashion Week and connections to Pitti Uomo. But runway spectacle has never really been the center of its power. Its influence comes from continuity, from knowing exactly who it is and staying committed to that identity. And that feels especially relevant now. Fashion has gone through a period where more people have become interested in texture, tailoring, understatement, and clothes that do not rely on obvious branding. Brunello Cucinelli did not have to reinvent itself for that moment. It was already there. That is what makes the brand such a strong case study. Its current relevance comes not from a sudden shift, but from long-term consistency. Brunello Cucinelli made subtlety feel aspirational. What began with colored cashmere gradually became something much bigger, a brand shaped by craftsmanship, philosophy, and a very disciplined idea of luxury. It built its identity not through excess or constant reinvention, but through consistency, refinement, and a strong belief in the value of beautiful materials and careful making. In a fashion world that often rewards noise, speed, and visibility, Brunello Cucinelli took a different path. Its restraint became part of its power. Its calmness became part of its appeal. And over time, it proved that a brand does not need to be loud to feel important. Sometimes a clear point of view, carried with discipline over many years, can leave just as strong an impression. What do you think about Brunello Cucinelli as a brand? Do you see it as one of the strongest examples of quiet luxury? Or do you think its influence is talked about more than its actual design impact? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.